We begin our look at sports on the NFL gridiron, where the New York Football Giants have hit rock bottom. The Giants suffered their third worst home loss in the franchise's 92-year history on Sunday. Quarterback Eli Manning didn't play particularly well. He missed 3 potential long touchdowns in the first half, but at the same time, the decimated G-men lineup, including their receiving core, didn't come up big either. 5 different Giants combined to drop 7 passes. It was their most drops since Week 15 of the 2007 season. Manning and the Giants are moving closer to the #1 pick in the NFL draft at 1-7. It's likely their 5th time in 6 years that they will miss the postseason. Meanwhile, the Giants were down Sunday. The vibe in the LA Ram locker room was up. The Rams are 6-2 and have turned their franchise around. Here's more. What do you think's been the #1 reason why this organization has had a turnaround this year?
I mean, we're taking care of the ball, at the end of the day. You look at the games we lost, we didn't take care of the ball. So, and that's the first thing, he said, about the ball, whether it's offense, defense, special teams. You got to take care of it, got to get turnovers, and we've been able to do that and be successful.
You've seen in the past, teams happens all the time. Teams start out hot and, they don't finish the season right way, or vice versa. Start off slow and finish it, tremendously. So we need to go week to week right now, and we're excited about where we're at for sure. 6-2 is really good, and finishing this second quarter now of the season 3-1 as well is really good. But we got another half of the season to go.
We know the time and effort that we put into this job we do, and we haven't been a really great team in a while, and we just try to remember that and push forward and just get better every day. And like I said, when you work at something, you work hard at something, you expect for it to pay off. And that's just, like I said, a tribute to everybody buying in, believing in what Coach said, and just doing their job to the best of their abilities.
How do you think this team has been able to exceed expectations so far?
Believe in McVay, and like I said, the one game at a time, selfless football, and just playing together.
Congrats to the Rams. As for Big Blue, anonymous players came forward this week and said that head coach Ben McAdoo has lost the locker room. Some players like Damon, Sachs, Harrison took issue calling those Giants cowards for claiming that the locker room is in disarray. The Giants are in San Francisco Sunday for a 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff against the winless Niners. They should be able to beat the Niners, right? I'm not so sure. Sources confirmed this week that the Giants won't be making any coaching decisions in season, meaning that for now, McAdoo has a job. I could see the Giants falling in San Fran and that storyline changing by next week. The Jets have a chance to remain the feel-good football story here in New York this weekend. With the Giants falling apart, Gang Green heads to Tampa Bay with a chance to go into the bye at 5-5 with a win over the slumping Buccaneers. The Jets defense behind young, up-and-coming stars like Leonard Williams has anchored a team that I believe has overachieved and really played passionately for their head coach, Todd Bowles. They may not have all the talent, but this Jets team has plenty of heart. They top Tampa Bay and go 5-5 on Sunday. That game kicks at 1 p.m. Who would have thought that the Big Apple would be electrified by the Jets and the New York Knicks in the month of November? Well, Orange and Blue fans can thank Kristaps Porzingis for some early season fun. Kristaps scored a game-high 28 points Tuesday as the Knicks extended their win streak to 3 games. He set a franchise record for total points in the first 10 games of a season, 300 points, passing legends Bernard King and Patrick Ewing. Afterward, Porzingis said milestones like that will mean nothing if the Knicks aren't a playoff team this year. The only concern for Kristaps, the organization, and the fan base doesn't appear to be the talent of the 7'3" rising star. It's the prospect of injury for Porzingis. The 22-year-old was unable to play Wednesday due to ankle and elbow injuries, and the Knicks fell 112-99 against Orlando. With Porzingis out, Tim Hardaway Jr. was the Knicks' only consistent scoring threat and had 26 points. The Knicks entered the game having won 6 of their last 7 games, but they seemed out of sync offensively without Porzingis. They shot 53% from the field and committed 23 turnovers. Kristaps is expected back Saturday night as the Knicks welcome Sacramento to the world's most famous arena for an 8 p.m. start. The Brooklyn Nets are now 4-7, including 1-5 away from New York. They are in Portland tonight and Utah Saturday, wrapping up their West Coast swing. On the ice, the New York Rangers need more of the Henrik Lundqvist they got in Wednesday's 4-2 win over the Boston Bruins. More of the guy who made several difficult saves in stopping 31 of 33 shots, and he believes he's closer to achieving greater consistency while he and his teammates have reeled off a 5-game win streak. The Rangers are now 8-7 after that atrocious start. They take on Edmonton Saturday afternoon at the Garden. Puck drops at 1 p.m. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. The Red Bulls and New York City FC both came up a goal short and exited Major League Soccer's playoffs on Sunday. Needing at least 3 goals on Sunday, NYCFC got 2 in the first 55 minutes on a rainy night at Yankee Stadium. But Columbus held off a flood of pressure over the final 30 minutes and emerged with a 2-0 loss that was enough to send it through to the conference finals 4-3 on aggregate. Toronto advanced despite a 1-0 loss to the visiting Red Bulls on Sunday, an ugly match that included a slew of red cards. Toronto advanced by virtue of having more away goals, having won 2-1 in the first leg at Red Bull Arena. On the baseball diamond, Japanese baseball star Shohei Ohtani will be made available to major league teams, according to Japanese media reports. Ohtani's team announced Friday that the highly talented pitcher-outfielder will be made available via the posting system. Ohtani, 23, is the reigning Pacific League MVP and is 3-2 with a 3.20 ERA this year, while being limited because of thigh and ankle injuries. He is batting .332 in 65 games with 16 doubles, 8 homers, and 31 RBIs. He has a 42-15 record with a 2.52 ERA and 624 strikeouts and 543 innings over 5 seasons, in addition to a .286 batting average with 48 homers and 160 RBIs. Pretty good numbers. Financially, the 3 leading teams that could pay the most are the Texas Rangers, the New York Yankees, and the Minnesota Twins. Expect to see Ohtani in pinstripes. Aaron Boone, who hit one of the most famous homers in Yankees history and has served as an analyst on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball the past 2 years, is among the candidates to be the Yanks' next manager, according to sources. The 44-year-old Boone joined the Yankees in midseason 2003 via trade and ended Game 7 of the American League Championship Series against the Boston Red Sox that fall with an extra inning homer. He was set to return as the Yanks' third baseman in 2004, but blew out his knee in a pickup basketball game, the first domino in a series of events that led to the Yankees' acquisition of Alex Rodriguez. General Manager Brian Cashman is believed to have a list of about 15 candidates, several of which, like Boone, have no managerial or coaching experience. Joe Girardi's bench coach, Rob Thompson, interviewed this week and apparently made a strong case for the job. Cashman also said this week that he fired Girardi because of communication issues with the team. Cashman cited this as the primary reason for letting him go. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for a tribute to the late, great Roy Halladay. Roy Halladay, a 2-time Cy Young Award winner, pitcher who retired from baseball nearly 4 years ago, died when his plane crashed into the Gulf of Mexico on Tuesday. He was just 40 years old. Halladay's Icon A5, a small single-engine aircraft, went down around noon Tuesday off the coast of Florida. The Sheriff's Office Marine Unit responded and found Halladay's body in shallow water. No survivors were found. Halladay was an 8-time All-Star who went 203 and 105 with a 3.38 ERA in his 16-year career with the Toronto Blue Jays and Philadelphia Phillies. He threw a perfect game with the Phillies during the 2010 season, and on October 6th of that year against the Cincinnati Reds in the National League Division Series, he became only the second pitcher to throw a postseason no-hitter, joining Don Larson, who accomplished the feat for the New York Yankees in the 1956 World Series. Doc Halladay, as he was called, is arguably among the greatest pitchers in his generation. He always had a desire to learn to fly. His baseball contracts would not allow it. But when he played in Toronto, he would often fly a remote control plane throughout the stadium hours before games. What I will remember most about Doc is his tireless work ethic, something players, coaches, and people that knew him alike this week have come out to say in remembrance of the all-time great. One year at an All-Star game, it was just Roy and myself in the clubhouse, and it was legit 6 hours before the Midsummer Classic, an exhibition. And I asked Halladay if he would do an interview, and he politely declined, saying that he needed to study up on the hitters. He was sitting in his locker with index cards and notes. He was the ultimate professional. Sadly, baseball says goodbye to Doc way too soon. Our condolences go out to his family. He leaves behind his wife and 2 children. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.